Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about why developer portfolios suck. What is it about your portfolio that is not really hitting the mark? It could be your design. It could be the lack of storytelling about who you are, what value you provide, and what skill set that you have that should, help other companies or clients get to where they need to be or solve a problem. Okay, so like just doing a whole bunch of just random projects and going through like tutorials on how to do those projects and just adding it to your portfolio is not a great way to showcase your skills. It just shows that you can follow directions pretty well, and it's really easy for you to just write, copy and paste code and just go with it and not actually do your own troubleshooting and solving problems and thinking outside the box. All right, because back in the day when I first started looking for a job, the biggest thing for me was just having a good resume, a good skill set that showcased everything that I did at the previous job, and just doing applications. And usually I would get a call back, do an in-person interview, and that was it. Okay. And that process would probably take me like 2 to 3 months, if that, to find a job. But today, it's going to be harder for you guys to get jobs now because the job market is super competitive. And a lot of competition is out there for front-end development, back-end development, full stack roles, DevOps, you name it, it is tough. So having a good portfolio that's on the web, that has great SEO, you'll be able to get more opportunities from people finding your content versus pushing yourself out there a lot more and doing all these applications and trying to, contact the hiring manager about whether you're a good fit for the role and try to bypass the application process. So some of the reasons why your portfolio might be lacking is just, like I said, the projects that are on there. If you're doing like basic landing pages, that's not web responsive, that has no type of design work, and you post that on your portfolio, that's an immediate red flag. That just shows that you're not putting in the time and the work to perfect, or not even perfect. I don't like to use the word perfection, but get it up to standard. It needs to be web responsive. It needs to have some type of CSS. It needs to have some type of JavaScript too. Just having that flow of, this is the web app that I built, is gonna showcase your skills. So if you're just doing like a basic landing page with buttons on it and it doesn't even work, that's even worse. Also doing like basic apps that kind of get your foot in the door, like a to-do list app, a note-taking app, just doing a clone of another website, like a LinkedIn clone, Netflix, Facebook, you name it, and you wanted to clone it. I mean, that's cool if you could clone an app and you can make it your own by thinking outside the box and adding new features to it. But at the end of the day, it's still a clone. Start building something fresh and start incorporating the methodologies that you learned in the process of cloning that app and come up with another problem solver, a real world problem solving app that's going to wow the hiring manager or people who find it. All right. So make sure that your projects are good. Look up different project ideas just to kind of get your brain, fresh with different ideas and try to brainstorm what you'll actually focus on. And every single day, try to tackle that project. It doesn't need to be 2 hours in front of the computer typing away. Just spend at least 30 minutes to an hour and you should be fine. And just make sure that you have at least 3 to 5 projects on your portfolio that showcases your skills and that it tells a story. Because if I go to your portfolio and it doesn't tell me anything, like I'm just gonna disregard it. Another thing that's very common is not having links to your GitHub account. So if you don't have a GitHub account, create that right now so that you can host your projects on it. I would want to see how you went about building that project. I want to look at the source code. I want to see if it's actually original or if it's something that's been copy and pasted. Because some code you can see, it's depending on what it is, it might be very boilerplate. And I mean, it takes some time just to understand what's actually written by someone versus what's not. But ultimately, you want to read through the code and make sure that everything is working fine. I mean, as a hiring manager, I would like to look at your code and see if you actually did the work as opposed to just copying and pasting it from like a boot camp or something else. So make sure that you have your GitHub links on your portfolio projects. that it links to the correct places, and it tells me exactly what the project is about in the README, why you wrote this project the way you did it, and what problem it's trying to solve. Number 3, in my opinion, is just poor design. If I go to your portfolio and there's no flow to your portfolio, immediate red flag. Poor design is just bad. There's no excuses for that. And you shouldn't be hosting that online if the design is terrible. So make sure that your design at least is web responsive, it's simple, it's easy enough to navigate, there's no other pages that you have to click through and all that stuff. You could just do a simple landing page with links to take you to each section and have everything sectioned off. So like home, about me, projects that I worked on, or actually skill set, projects that I worked on, so on and so forth. And that tells me everything in one view. It's just like your resume. You have all your skills and all the experiences that you have on one piece of paper. You should create a landing page that does the same. Another thing is not solving real world problems. Not solving real world problems. So some of these things are just like, for example, if I wanted to create like a note-taking app for my own, to solve a problem with taking notes either by voice or just typing notes and just having it somewhere so that I could reference it later while I'm like working on a project, or just to do something else, like run an errand or something like that. That's very helpful. I mean, your phone already has like a note app that you could just talk into it and it will generate the notes for you. Also, there's AI incorporated with some of these phones today. So you could just add AI to summarize what you need to do for the day. So you could do a note-taking app and make it simple and then incorporate AI. You can use ChatGPT, Claude, like all these integrations just to make it better. And then also store those into like different folders, depending on when it was created, and just create a great user experience based off that. Just think outside the box of different things that you want to work on, or what problem that you want to solve, and just tackle that problem every single day. And make it part of like the project list that you have to get that on your portfolio. Another thing that's very important is your portfolio has to tell a story. So if I was to go to your portfolio and it doesn't give me like a simple explanation in terms of who you are, what you do, what kind of problem you're solving, what skills you have, that's an issue. So make sure that your portfolio starts from just a picture of yourself, then it goes down into who you are, how long you've been coding, and then go into detail about how you got started, why you got started, and what kind of projects that you've been working on to stay relevant in the tech space. At least having that and everything else that flows after that, it will tell me like this portfolio is actually the real deal, versus someone that's just putting stuff up there and just having bland ass projects. So just make sure that your portfolio tells the story about you, because at the end of the day, it's an investment in yourself. Next thing I want to touch on too is, there's no proof of technical growth. If I was to go to your portfolio and all you have is these bland ass projects, like I said, and you haven't made any progress, like there's no progress from your simple apps to like the more complex ones, that's an issue. So make sure, even if you're a junior developer, I know that you're not going to have the skills just yet and you're working towards that goal. Make sure that you build something that's remarkable, that to yourself, that you want to work on, that will show, hey, I know about the standards of today. I know how to build a website from scratch. I know how to build a web app from scratch. This is the tech stack that I am using today that is relevant, that will help solve a problem. Point blank, period. That's all you need to do. Like, you don't make it complicated. Portfolio is not to be a complicated project. It should just be one thing that you want to focus on and just showcase everything that's about you, just similar to your resume, the same thing. So make sure that you're building out your portfolio is up to standard, is web responsive, it has all the great projects on there, it tells the story about you, and that you spend time building something that solves a real world problem and tells the hiring manager everything that they need to know about yourself and whether you're a good fit for the job, all right? So that's it, guys. That's the video. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want me to review your portfolio, let me know. I can definitely do that for you guys. If you need any help with how to get from point A to point B in your coding journey, let me know at thefullstackbro@gmail.com. All right, we'll talk soon.